Welcome to the SCLD podcast, where we talk about all the things you can do and find at the library.
Hello, I'm Erin Dodge, Communication Specialist with Spokane County Library District. And today I'm talking with Tony Carnell, the Human Resources Director at the library. And we're going to be talking about jobs and careers at the library that aren't librarian positions.
There's a lot of them, too.
So welcome, Tony.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
And I've experienced, and I'm sure you've experienced this, when you meet people out in public or you're talking to family and friends who you haven't seen for a while, and you say, "Oh, I work at the library," and the first question is, "Oh, you're a librarian?
You get to work with all the books all day." Yes, exactly.
And I have to say, "Oh, no, I'm not. I'm a communication specialist," and I have to explain what that means and why the library needs one and all of that goodness. So let's talk a little bit about what non-librarian jobs people will see when they come into the library. Who do people meet at the library when they come here?
So when you come in the door, most likely you're going to see the job title is Public Services Associate or Public Services Specialist.
Okay.
What that means is they're customer service. So they're front of the line, talking to you, finding your books, helping you with your account. Mm-hmm. Those are the people you're going to meet most of the time when you walk in the door. When you're out looking at books, you're going to see public services technicians.
Okay.
They're the ones putting all the stuff away.
Okay.
So everything you return, they're going to be putting back on the shelf, making sure it's organized, you can find things. Those are the folks you're going to find out on the floor.
Okay. And then, and you will also find librarians out on the floor.
Yes, absolutely.
They're out there too.
Yes, absolutely. We do have librarians, but that first point of contact is usually one of those other positions.
And then when we have programs and events, it could be a librarian who's running the program, or it could be one of the public services specialists that's running the program. So it's a mix.
It's a mix. Largely the librarians are the ones planning the programs, putting that together, getting it organized. And then, one of our other public services staff will host that program or host it with them. Okay,
great. And then behind the scenes, I'm kind of a behind the scenes. Today I'm front of the scenes because we're here on the podcast, but usually I'm behind the scenes. And so who else is behind the scenes at the library?
So much more behind the scenes.
Okay.
So we'll start with your Department of Communication. Okay. Vital department, right? Everything you see, hear, read, social media, award-winning Engage magazine comes out of the communication department.
Yes.
We have the development staff.
Okay.
Raising awareness and raising funds for the library through our foundation. We have collection services. That's our biggest department back at the house.
And collection services means?
So they are the ones that find, buy, and process, put all the jackets and stuff on and ship out.
All the books, all of the materials, DVDs, CDs.
Everything comes through that collection services department.
And they also are in charge of Overdrive, which is and through the Libby app, our online books and audiobooks.
Overdrive and Hoopla. Flipster.
That's right.
All those apps, they're responsible for it's a huge job.
And Flipster is our digital magazines.
Yes, yes.
Which I don't think people realize we have those, but we do.
And it's fabulous.
Yes.
To be able to get those.
Yeah. Okay, so collection services.
So collection services, we have a finance office, and so they pay us. We like them.
They pay all the people that we buy the things from.
They pay all of our bills. They make sure that our electricity is still on.
Yes.
We have heat, water, that kind of thing. Maintain our facilities. We have a couple of fabulous maintenance staff who go around and make sure everything's working right.
Right.
And buy all our supplies, pens to pom-poms.
Oh, wow.
They buy all the supplies for the district. So they're busy too.
Yeah.
Keeping up with all the programs.
Well, and I think about all the fun crafting programs and different things where the librarians or the libraries themselves, the library supervisors and whatnot, they plan a craft. We need the supplies for that. So that comes through, like you're saying, the finance department, and they purchase those for those programs.
And they have the most fun buying the stuff.
Yes.
That's their, and they buy the big toys that we see sometimes.
Oh yeah.
The big blocks and the games and things that you see out at programs. So
and community events too. We have the big Connect 4 and a big chess game.
Huge chess game.
There's another one I can't think right off the top of my head, but there's these fun games that are really big, like a kid size.
They're
4 foot tall.
Yeah, they're taller than a lot of the kids.
Depending on the age of the kid.
they're meant, that interactive parent and child So they're a lot of fun and a lot of fun to us to play with too when we get a chance.
So it sounds like there's a lot of working pieces. Okay, we're at the finance department. Who's next?
We already talked about collection services. Human resources, we're small.
Yeah.
Just a couple of us here, but, performing necessary stuff.
Yeah.
We have a call center.
That's right.
If you call in, usually you're going to get one of the staff at the call center.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to handle any issues you have, route you to the right people, make sure that any questions are taken care of.
Yeah. And then we have a IT department.
I cannot forget IT.
IT helped make the podcast happen.
They help everything
They helped
happen.
put this room together. They help the computers that people use in the library happen and have the software and up to date and safe and
absolutely
be able to print.
But yeah, they're making sure that everything's working the way it should. They're fabulous to work with.
Yeah.
You'll notice we rarely say, "Oh, we're down for something."
Yeah.
And it's something that we've done. IT's always on top of things, making sure we're
well, and we have Wi-Fi at all of our libraries, and that's IT makes that happen.
Takes care of that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
They do a lot.
They're very busy. Yes.
So IT, we have some operational staff and some special project staff, I think.
So we have some, we call our public services managers. They're on their operations side. They oversee the kind of the bigger picture of programming and events and staffing and make sure that everything that we're doing is aligning with our mission and our vision.
Okay. So we talked about IT. Mm-hmm. There's also a mobile services department.
We have a whole mobile services department. You may have seen Link,
yes.
LINC on the roads.
Which is the big bus truck RV
thing. Beautifully, great graphics on it by your department.
Oh, yep.
Very
Our graphic
nicely
designer.
done.
Yep.
And there's a smaller Sprinter van too. And they visit the Sprinter van mostly, but they visit facilities like adult care facilities and preschools and daycares and that kind of thing. And Link goes to all the community events and brings the library to you.
Right. And we have, and that's, those are also like public services specialists, but they're doing that mobile work. And Link is our mobile library, which also has Wi-Fi, connecting it back to IT.
Printers and computers.
And then space for crafts activities.
Absolutely.
And like story times and other kind of fun programs that they put on inside Link.
Anything you see in a library happens on board the Link as well.
Yeah. So that's another fun department that kind of goes out and about into the county and shares what the library has to offer.
They share in places that we don't have maybe a physical building.
Yes.
But the community wants or needs the service. And so we're able to provide that through Link.
Yeah. And mobile services.
And the whole mobile services department. Mm-hmm.
Yes. Cool. That's fun.
The latest issue of Engage is here. Inside, you'll find programs and resources for all ages and a wide variety of interests. Explore creative topics that spark the imagination. Find programs for health and wellness, financial education, gardening, and more. Hear from best-selling authors. Bring young children to weekly story times. See our STEM programs for kids. Discover digital resources that can help you pick up a new hobby and explore topics for personal and professional growth. Pick up your copy of Engage at any of our libraries or flip through the digital version today on our website at scld.org.
Great. So that's a lot of different departments and jobs that aren't librarians. Mm-hmm. And some are.
Some are by title and some are just by the position and the requirements.
Right.
One thing, our executive director, that position is required to have a librarian degree per the RCW, Washington State law.
Okay.
It says they have to have a librarian degree.
So Patrick Rowe, our executive director, is a librarian.
Yes, he is.
Wonderful. So that makes sense. And now, when we have job openings here at the library, how can people find out about them? Where can they find that information?
The best way is to go to our website, scld.org/employment.
Okay.
You'll find there all of our current job openings. Right now we have one for our library supervisor up in Deer Park. Very excited about that one.
And now, do you have to be a librarian to be a library supervisor?
I do not.
Okay.
looking for somebody with great customer service skills, somebody who is excited about the work, excited about engaging with the community, but no degree is required.
And that position, correct me if I'm wrong, they supervise staff at that location and manage the other folks working there.
They manage the day-to-day functions of the Deer Park Library.
Okay.
Manage those frontline staff.
I see.
And work on the front lines too.
Right. Yeah, we're all front lines when we can be, right?
Absolutely. We all pitch in and do what we can.
Great. Okay.
One thing about our website, when you look, even if we don't have jobs listed, you'll see a button that says job alerts.
Oh, okay.
And that is a great way to know right away when we post a job.
Oh.
Sign up for job alerts, just takes your email and your name.
Oh, wonderful.
And every time I post a job, you'll get an email.
Oh, that's perfect.
It's a little insider information.
That's insider information. Sign up for that. I have a friend who has now been working here for quite a few years, but I started working here first, and I know that she was so excited when she got hired. This is Melissa Rhodes, and it's worked out great. She's a public services specialist, and she does some story times and loves it, and part of the 3D printing team. And so you get, I want to put a plug in for working at the library, because there's a lot of potential to do different things. You're up there helping people at the service desk, but you're also able to, work in different ways throughout the library.
Right. We're not just behind a desk, stamping a book and checking things out. It's so much more. It's the Glowforge, it's 3D printing. It's all the programming we do and all the community interactions that we have.
That's right.
The most fun.
Yeah, for sure. I love working at the library, if you can't tell. And I'm not really on the front lines, but I love being able to communicate all that the library does and share that information. And everybody I know, and even people I don't know, I will talk about the library too. So
I do the same. I have worked for libraries in an HR form for quite a few years.
Yeah. Somebody will just say, "Oh, I'm looking to find out something." I'll be like, "Have you tried the library?"
Exactly.
Or the library has this, and this that you should maybe try out. And
talking about some of the programs is always fun too. Did you know we have a whatever program we have going on at the time, and people are just, wow, at the library?
I am really enjoying all of our digital resources as well. So there's over 50. I think it's close to 60.
So many
for so many different things. Okay. But I digress.
We get excited talking about the library and what we do.
Well, this could be an important tip maybe for someone applying for a position. I'm just going to say it. Learn a little bit about the place you're applying for, right?
Always a good hint.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. But learn about what we do, be able to talk about what we do and what skills and what things you bring that enhance that. That's what's going to help you have a really good application and interview.
And then we are a library, or a library system with lots of libraries. We have resources for job applicants.
We do, for whether you're applying for us or somewhere else. So there's Job Now, which is one of my favorites. They have a ton of resources online. And they have job coaches.
Yes.
You can live practice your interview skills. That's always the worst part of applying for a job.
Right. If you can kind of get practice and get those nerves out and practice that interview technique with another person.
Someone who's skilled in doing that. Absolutely. There's the Job Seekers webpage that has a bunch of resources on it.
Which we'll put that link in the description below so folks could just click on that, whether you're listening on the podcast or watching the video version. So, yeah.
Great. And book a librarian. You can always book a librarian. So
That's
make an
true.
appointment with a librarian or a non-librarian.
Right.
One of our library staff, and they can help you work on your application, work on your resume.
Well, and we have a whole business careers team and some public service specialists that are really well versed in all of that, in your resumes, cover letters, interview techniques. So you can get that one-on-one at the library.
They are specialists. And you'll see us at the job fairs.
That's true.
So you'll see the business team and usually someone from HR at those job fairs.
Yeah.
And again, we will start talking about the library and how much we love it. And
of course,
you may have to work to get away from it.
You might be like, okay, I think I know enough now. So if they're interested in applying for a job at the library, you mentioned the website. Is that where they go? And then how does that work to
Yes.
apply?
So we take applications online.
Okay.
So just go to that website, scld.org/employment.
Okay.
You'll click on apply now on whatever job you are interested in, and it'll just walk you through the application. You have an opportunity to upload a resume, a cover letter. Cover letter is not required, but it's always nice to be able to talk about what you do and what you like.
Right.
Any other documents, and then we will review them here in my office.
Okay. And then I want to touch back on customer service, because I think when people think of the library, they think everybody who works here is just reading books all day, which is not really close. I mean, I think a lot of people, probably the majority of people that work for the library, love books.
Yes, absolutely.
And love reading. But we don't really have time for reading all day. In fact, there's a lot of customer service that we kind of touch on this earlier. Customer service going on. And so if somebody was writing a cover letter, would they want to talk about their customer service skills?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Talk about your experience in customer service, maybe your approach to customer service.
Okay.
Sometimes we'll ask for some prompts like, tell us about a difficult interaction you had with a customer. How did you turn that around?
Okay.
So stuff like that shows that you've got interest, you've got ability,
Right.
some excitement for it.
Yeah.
Those are the folks that do really well here and stay, and we want you to come and stay a long time.
Yeah.
In our quest to inspire the next generation of scientists, engineers, and innovators, the library offers a wide range of programs and resources on science, technology, engineering, and math, together referred to as STEM. For young explorers, our STEM programs ignite imagination and hands-on learning. Did you know you can design your own video game, code a robot, create a marble roller coaster, or try out exciting science experiments? Together, we make STEM fun. Your library also has STEM resources you can explore at home. You can check out books on great STEM topics and borrow cool stuff, like telescopes and exploration kits from our Library of Things. Unleash your creativity, foster innovation, and explore all that Spokane County Library District has to offer. We invite you to visit one of our libraries today.
Well, this is great. Some places to go online. So we've said scld.org/employment. We also have a link. We're going to put all these below, but I still want to share them. scld.org/resources-job-seekers. So that's kind of has a bunch of different resources that you can click through and find templates for cover letters, templates for resumes, that sort of thing.
Right.
And then Job Now, which you talked about, our digital resource, it's from a company called BrainFuse. So if it says BrainFuse Job Now, that you won't get confused. But scld.org/Job Now, all one word. And you said like you talked about, there's live online coaching for jobs, for interviews. There's resume workshops through Job Now. Usually response time, if you submit something, is 24 hours.
They're very good.
They're good. And the live, you could get on there and see someone this evening. And it's usually afternoon, evening hours to accommodate for folks that have jobs.
Or in school.
Yeah. And just a lot of, if you're curious about what you want to do with your life, you don't have a career, or you want a career, you want to change careers, they have a whole career assessment section on Job Now. So I just want to plug those resources really quick.
Use the resources. Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah. And look for sign up for those job alerts. That's a good tip.
It is a great addition to our application system. And
Wonderful.
We get a lot of applicants that way.
That's wonderful. All right. Well, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here, Tony.
Thank you for having me.
And I hope we get some great applicants.
Yes, me too. Can't wait to see everybody's materials.
Okay, wonderful. And I hope you find this interesting, and I hope you find, if not a job at the library, at least resources for your next great job. All right. Thank you.